everybody. How are you? Hope you're having a great afternoon. So, it would seem Chantal did another video talking about her health issues, her diabetes, and she did a video called Yep, I'm Doing It Again. And a few things have happened since my react. So, there's been a lot of talk on Twitter about some of the things that she's talked about in previous videos since she began this whole pity, poor me, sympathy arc of bringing up the diabetes. And this happened after she went off on Yaba in a community post. She was talking about Yaba, she was talking about her family, and she was talking about Yaba's deceased loved one. She got in severe trouble with that. There was a lot of backlash. So whenever Chantal gets in trouble, she pivots out of the tight corner she puts herself in by bringing something to the table to make people feel sorry for her. And the feel sorry for her arc does not include the emergency room as it used to be. Now she's talking about the diabetes. The thing is, Chantal's had diabetes for years, and the cycle of how she goes about treating the diabetes has been exactly the same. There's no looking at it from a point of treating it seriously and looking at it as something to be concerned about. And it's not a joke, because those who have diabetes, it is absolutely not a joke. It is something you have to take seriously. You have to correct your diet. You have to watch your blood sugar. But for Chantal, anything and everything is YouTube content. Everything has to be a spectacle. And it's no different right now. For her, the whole diabetes thing is a spectacle. It's a joke, and she's not taking it seriously. So I wanted to show you guys some stuff that I found on Twitter relating to the misinformation that she's been spreading and the online doctor that she's been listening to, as well as go over her latest video. So let me just go ahead and switch over to Twitter so you guys can see all this stuff on Twitter. And I'm giving full credit to everybody on Twitter that did these tweets as for the people sharing this information. So let me just go ahead and make sure I am where I need to be. Okay, so for those of you that want to join me on Twitter, there's my Twitter. It's Wild Girl Sarah. Okay, this is from Hidden Truths saying Foodie Beauty is at 21st, so she needs views. This is why she's doing this diet thing again and now bought a BS tester to add to the hype. She has no concern for her health, and she will make another vlog next month saying she can't do it and doesn't have the strength. So yeah, like YouTube payday, the pay period goes until the 31st for this month. So we're in the last part of the month, and she's really pushing for as many views as possible. Also, I found out that in Kuwait, they have new policies relating to expats and the many different things that they are putting on the list of. They want people that are in Kuwait with these things that are not locals. They want them to leave. So diabetes is on that list. Chantal is a diabetic. Maybe the reason why she's not going to the doctor is because if she goes to the doctor, then it will go on a record that she has diabetes. And since she is an expat, that could mean that they may not let her back in Kuwait if she happens to leave again for another visa run. So maybe that's the reason why she's not going to the doctor. She doesn't want anything on record with her having diabetes. So moving on. D. Angry Scott says, now that I've learned about Foodie Beauty's new YouTube doctor, it's fun to pick out the medical misinformation and half-truth she's already picking up from him. The one thing you will see in any information on any kind of fasting is that you should get medically checked, especially with diabetes. And that's true. I said that in my last react. Before Chantal does any kind of fasting, any kind of exercise program, any kind of program, period, she needs to go to the doctor and get checked inside and out. You got to know what's going on beneath the hood before you take the car for a ride. So she's got all these kinds of medical issues. She hasn't been to the doctor in years. She needs to know what is safe to do and what is unsafe to do. But this doctor that she's been listening to, from what I understand, he's a quack. He's a chiropractor, which means he can't give medical advice on anything serious such as diabetes. But yet Chantal is listening to this person because, as Chantal does, whenever she is looking for things to back up her narrative, She seeks out articles, information, and people that will back up whatever narrative she chooses to go with. She picks up little bits and pieces and says, "Oh, look, I was right." No, obviously you're not right, Chantal, because if you knew how to heal yourself, if you are completely knowledgeable, why are you at a point where you're 500 pounds plus and you're very unhealthy? D. Angry Scott says these seem like things that should be discussed with an actual doctor, Foodie, and not searching for confirmation bias with your YouTube Scientologist chiropractor. The dangerous part of this will be when you break your fast with an insane B moment that puts you in a coma. Yeah, so I've also heard that if you are a diabetic, that fasting is dangerous. And again, she doesn't know where her health is at. She has no idea what's going on inside of her, nor does she care to learn. She's not going to go to a doctor and find out. But let's watch the clip from The Angry Scott.
It's going down a little bit, so I'm happy about that. Now, I will be monitoring it very closely to make sure that it doesn't get too low because, I hear people saying, well, it's dangerous for people with diabetes to fast. I would say people with type 1 diabetes, yes. Because
you would say, but you don't know. I would say this, but then again, you don't have any kind of medical training, do you, Foodie? You're not a doctor. You don't have a degree. You don't know what you're talking about. So, with all things considered, with all your health problems, do you have any kind of wiggle room to make a mistake like that? I don't think so. But again, this is you being lazy. This is you being afraid to go to a doctor. You don't want to hear from somebody that knows what they're talking about and can do tests and find out what the real deal is. You just won't go.
because they have problems with their blood sugar getting very, very low. I don't know about type 2, but I think that because this was more than likely caused, there are genetic factors. Like every single person in my family, almost every single person in my family has diabetes, but not this young in age. So I think I can reverse it or put it into remission or whatever you want to call it. Because yes, you guys were right. Technically, when you look it up, there's no cure, but you can go down to.
So I think Foodie, she has been very, very nosy. I think she pays very close attention to the reaction channels, but also to Twitter because there's been a lot of discussion about her diabetes and what she's doing with it on Twitter, on YouTube, in the reaction channels, and with the audience. Nobody can tell me that this woman isn't running around on her free time, which is all the time because what else does she have to do? And she's picking up different bits and pieces from the audience that are calling her out on her nonsense. People in the audience that maybe have diabetes and they know more what they're talking about, or people in the audience who are nurses or doctors that they're confirming that what she's doing is completely stupid, that she needs to go to a doctor and get checked. And so she's just simply parroting a lot of things that she's heard from people. But the problem with Foodie is that she hears, but she doesn't listen. Like she hears what people are saying, but she doesn't listen to it, and she doesn't take what she's learned and apply it to her life.
You can go down to normal sugar levels. It's manageable to do that. So my blood sugar levels are hyperglycemic, and if I go down to hypoglycemic, I will stop fasting and eat healthy, whatever. I'm gonna see.
Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room that you keep walking all the way around, Foodie. Not only are you a diabetic, ma'am, but you have a severe issue with food. So you have all of these health problems. You have high blood pressure. You have an enlarged heart. You have a fatty liver that's 3 times or 4 times the size of normal. You have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. You have blood clots in your lungs, and you should be taking blood thinners for that, and I'm pretty sure you're not. You should be taking medication for your depression, which I'm also sure you're not doing. But you've got all kinds of issues stacked one on top of the other. Hence the reason why you need to go to doctors and specialists and therapists. But you're not, and you never will. The help is there, but you won't accept the help. You won't reach out for it. So when I watch someone like you, and you have more than enough money to do what you need to do to fix yourself, And every day that you wake up and you say, no, I'm not interested, I'd rather take that money and just make myself more unhealthy. I want to do more harm to my body. The sympathy bone in my body just does not resonate with you. Not at all.
See how far I can go. I want to give my system a break. I'm honestly afraid to eat anything at this point because of how it affects my blood pressure, of how it affects my.
Okay, something interesting. I did watch a little bit of the video that I'm going to react to. Just a little bit. What's interesting about Foodie's video, which you guys will see for yourself, if you guys remember, I have reacted to Hungry Fat Chick, Candy. And a lot of the things that Foodie was saying in that video were things that Candy has said recently. You know, Candy was doing the mukbang videos. Then she decided she wanted to get healthy. So she did the keto and she had some success with keto. She was doing really well. And then she decided to go off the keto and start doing mukbangs again. And I'm very sad about that. It just makes me sad. Anyway, but all the times that I reacted to Candy, a lot of the things that Chantal is going to be saying in the video are almost exactly verbatim the things that Candy has said. So I'm wondering if she's watched Candy and just trying to parrot some of the things that Candy has said to elicit sympathy from the audience. Just a thought, just a curiosity. Okay, this is from Shenanigans. I guess this is Foodie's newest community post. She says, "Hi guys, I'm so sorry I am not feeling quite well tonight, but as soon as I feel better, I will do the TikTok live. Hope you guys have a good night." Well, Foodie, if you're starting off on the keto or OMAD or both, because in the last video that I reacted to, you couldn't make up your mind whether you're doing 1 meal a day OMAD, you were trying to combine bits of keto, you were all over the place. But if you're just starting out with something like this, wouldn't it be good to just stay offline and give your body time to adjust? Yeah, I would think so. But you're more concerned about going live on TikTok or doing videos. That's another way I could tell she's not serious about her health. Because if she were serious, she would give herself time to take care of herself. But she's concerned about making money and going live. All right, here's this from Hidden Truths. Foodie Beauty, tell me she doesn't read Twitter when she reads Twitter because she showed Harry. Yeah, because everybody on Twitter and YouTube has been asking, where's Harry? Where's Harry the hamster? There's been no mention of him. There's been no sight of him. So she's been all over the internet. And isn't it amazing that after all the talk of where's Harry, suddenly she's showing Harry? Took you long enough, Chantal. Okay, this is from Fondue Pondu saying, shifty-eyed as heck. She is always seeking the immediate results, and when she doesn't get them, she quits. This will be no different. Ready for the mukbang in 2 days. Yeah, like Foodie said recently, she doesn't like being uncomfortable. And change means discomfort. And if she's uncomfortable, she doesn't want to stick with it or she doesn't want to do it. So giving up all the fast food and eating a different way, that's going to make her real uncomfortable very, very quickly. And she's not going to stick with it, guaranteed. Those of us that have reacted to Chantal or watched Chantal for years, we know this cycle. We've been here before multiple times. That's why we don't believe her. Every person in this world, you start out with your word being good and people believing you. You have good credit. But then if you lie and if you are dishonest, then your word is not worth as much. And you can get yourself to a place with a lot of lying and dishonesty and insincerity that your word is worth nothing. So with Chantal, she's in the red. Her word is worth nothing. And the only way to get that good credit back is to be honest and sincere and forthright with the audience. And yet she's not going to do it. Absolutely not. So as long as she keeps up with the dishonesty and the broken promises, nobody's going to believe her until they see real results. Okay, I love this from Alexi. This sign needs to be posted everywhere in Foodie's house saying, "You're not hungry, you're bored. Shut the doggone door." She needs to have that inside her fridge, outside her fridge, in her pantry, all around her snacks. That needs to be printed up and put all around her house. Just a reminder, you're not hungry, you're bored. Shut the door. You're not eating because you need to eat. You're eating because there's nothing else to do. Miss Anthropope says, Foodie Beauty. So Chantal has decided to go with the just see how it goes route with her dangerous blood sugar readings and doesn't care how she looks, guys. Then take off the filters. Yeah, right? Take them all off if you're not afraid of how you look.
I'm going to see how it goes. Okay, so far the proof's in the numbers. It's been going down. Another thing I wanted to add about.
Okay, when she showed her latest blood sugar reading, a thought popped in my head. We never saw her take her blood sugar reading. We just saw the monitor with a number on it. What are the chances that Salah pricked his finger and that reading was from him, not from her? I mean, if she's not doing it, we don't see her actually pricking her finger and putting her blood on it and testing it. How do we know that he didn't do it? Just to give her a lower reading so that she could go and make a video. How do we know? Something tells me that's what happened.
You know, my scale being broken.
It was broken. It was broken. The scale at the villa was 100 pounds off, Chantal. And the scale that you have does not even go up to 400 pounds. That's also been proven. I believe the highest weight it can go to is 396, and you're well over that. You are in the 500-pound range. It is what it is. I don't know why you're ashamed or afraid to show your true weight. You cater to the feeding people. I would think that they would love to know that you're 500 pounds, but for some reason you just can't admit your true weight.
When have I ever cared at all about how I look?
What? You don't care how you look? Then why do you use filters? Why do you use 100 filters every time you come online? Mama, in this clip, you've got the skin smoothing filter. That's why her skin looks flawless. She's got the contour filter. That's what gives her lower face the V shape. She's got the eye widening filter because her eyes aren't that big. She's got at least 3 filters going on right now. But she doesn't care how she looks. No, not at all.
To people, like, I'm doing this weight thing for my health, not for looks. I've never hidden myself from the camera. I used to.
What? What? I'm doing this weight thing for my health. No, you're not. You don't care about your health. You are narcissistic. You are vain. You are so vain. It's really weird. On one side of the coin, you don't care about yourself. You don't care about your health. You've come on camera being gross and vulgar and just nasty in every way, unhygienic, just ew. But on the other side of that, you are narcissistic and vain. It's really a weird combination. It's really strange how a narcissistic, vain person could also be vulgar and gross and disgusting. But that's Chantal. So she doesn't care how she looks. Then why are you using your filters as a living avatar? Instead of using a picture, you use the filters to change your appearance to where that probably doesn't even resemble you in real life.
You've seen me in the past, the ball, the exercise ball, coming on camera just barely clothed. It doesn't make any sense. This theory doesn't make any.
Yeah, it does make sense. The thing is, you're with Salah, and even on camera, you want to keep up appearances. Even though the filters have glitched before, and we've seen your true self, and it is shocking. You know, like there's a part of you that's vain and narcissistic, and you just, I think it has to do with personal shame. When you were back in Canada, you avoided mirrors of every kind. You don't like mirrors because mirrors, they tell on you. They show who you are. And that's another reason why you hate the reaction channels. Because if you think about it, reaction channels, we function as another type of mirror. We reflect Chantal's true reflection back to herself, and she doesn't like what she sees. That's why she's constantly deleting videos, deleting community posts. We reflect her ugly back at her, and she doesn't want to see it, and she doesn't want to acknowledge it. But once you put it online, that reflection is always there. You can't erase it, you can't cover it up. It's just there. When she was in Canada, she was so ashamed of herself that she wouldn't get out of a car to go somewhere. She would go through a drive-through and sit and eat in the parking lot. When she had to go to a park to take walks, she would drive out of her way to go to a park with absolutely no one, and then she would wait for no one to be around for miles before she walked for 5 minutes. So she can't sit there and tell me that she's not ashamed of her appearance. And yet, at the same time, she feels this embarrassment and shame. She won't do anything to fix it. Nothing at all. She wants to keep on like she is, and she doesn't want to acknowledge the damage that she's doing to herself. And that's her own personal choice. Okay, y'all, here's the clip, courtesy of Katie. This is from a video that Chantal did long ago. We're talking May 20th, 2018. This was back when she was with her ex-boyfriend, BB. This was near the start of her channel. So you guys can see Chantal, right? Look at her. This is her with BB. Look at the weight, 377. 377. She's claiming anymore that she's 362, which means she's smaller now than the weight she was when she was with BB. That is impossible. I mean, video doesn't lie. A video has no way to hate a person. It just records things. So 377, this was years ago. Does this look like this how she looks now? No, she's gained a lot of weight since then. She was almost 400 pounds in this clip. So given the way she looks now versus then, I'd say she'd easily put on another 100, 150 pounds since that time. Because at this time, she had no trouble with her breathing. She could walk just fine. And given her lack of mobility and her heavy breathing and the fact that she can't even walk across the room, yeah, you put on a lot of weight, Chantal. And let me put this in perspective for you, Chantal. I'm 130 pounds. I'm somewhere in the 130 range. I haven't stepped on the scale in the longest. But just think about this. Ma'am, you are carrying the weight of an entire adult in the front of your body. That's why it hurts so much. You're carrying the weight of me or maybe somebody bigger than me in the front of your body. Just think about that. Like, you're at least 200 or 300 pounds overweight. You might be carrying the weight of two of me in the front of you or on you. That's not good. The body can't handle all that. But this is from the vlog that she did, her honest true weigh-in, the last true weigh-in she did. So thank you for that, Katie. Okay, this is from Nana's Spiked Tea, saying, I can't help but think this whole I have diabetes arc is more for Salah. She wants him to cater to her. She wants him to make her feel special. She wants his care and concern. She knows her health is crap, but now so concerned. Yeah, I could almost guarantee y'all that Chantal is using this whole I've got diabetes thing. It's for sympathy from her audience. It's to get her out of the tight corner she put herself in when she went after Yaba and Yaba's family. And also, she will use her illnesses and her problems to manipulate other people. She has BED. How much y'all want to bet me that she doesn't try to use that as a way to manipulate Salah and tell him, I have no control. So you have to be here to be my control. And if she has a B moment, she'll turn around and blame it on him. Oh, it's your fault. You weren't here. I lost control. You know, she'll do the blame shifting rather than accept the blame herself and go, it's my fault. I should have been more mindful. It's not the Chantal way. So now that she has diabetes, or she's had it and now she's admitting it again, she might be using that as a form of manipulation with Salah. I've got diabetes and I'm in bad health and you have to be here. She's so thirsty for attention. She would manipulate a man using that, trying to get more attention. It's just sick. Wonder Mom says, look at her, the same size she is now. I mean, she looks a little bit bigger now. Not a lot, only 200 pounds bigger, but we know Chantal would never lie to us or her husband about something as important as her health. Oh, yes, she would. Absolutely, she would. Absolutely. Sweet Bonnie Girl says, just FYI, OMAD is one of the worst diets Foodie Beauty can go on. She needs 3 meals per day to prevent blood glucose spikes. She also needs to measure what she eats and count net carbs. She won't, of course, but that is what the diabetics clinic would recommend. I'm wondering if she's even gone to a clinic. I'm wondering if she actually went to a doctor. But you're right. I've heard that OMAD for her would be horrible. Like, this is why Foodie needs to consult professionals, because she does not know what she's doing, and Dr. Google could never give her correct medical advice. Google cannot give her a full checkup, but an actual doctor could. This is another one from Katie. This was March 16th, 2021. Her saying, quote, you don't know my real blood sugar levels. You only know what I told you. Oh, really? Oh, let's watch then.
You don't know my real blood sugar levels. You only know what I told you. And I shouldn't have opened that can of worms. Oh, Lord, how I wish I didn't. You don't.
But we're here again, aren't we, Foodie? We are here yet again. Instead of you treating your diabetes and getting it under control, you're using it for content. You want to talk about it, but you don't want to be about it as far as the healing and managing it. So you're opening up the can of worms yet again. You just can't keep it on the shelf. You got to take it off the shelf, dust it off, open it up, pull the worms out if it means some profit. So no sympathy for you. None. Doing things for attention. Here's another older clip from her time from BB, also from Katie, dated April 9th, 2019. Let's watch.
Foods, Whole Foods, basically. We all know that doctors don't study very little about nutrition.
No, they don't. They only go to school for years and years and years to learn about the human body, to know how to treat you if you get sick. They don't know nothing about nutrition. What are all those years in college for anyway?
Like my GP, I asked him about diet, and he was very dismissive about it. He was just like, Whole Foods, Whole Foods, basically. But otherwise, they don't really study this stuff. So we all know that.
Yeah, like the way she talks about doctors, like doctors don't know what they're talking about. But guess what, Chantal? You don't know what you're talking about either. Again, if you were all knowledgeable and all knowing about your health, girl, why is your health so bad? Why? Why are you so unhealthy? Why are you walking around with an enlarged heart, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, enlarged liver, high blood pressure, all that stuff going on? You got all kinds of problems. If you were all knowledgeable about everything and you could cure yourself, why are you such a mess? So if I had to say who was more knowledgeable about health, if it was a choice between you and the doctors, I would say the doctors are the best bet, not you. Dr. Google can't tell you everything about you. This is from Alex is Shook, and this has to do with the car. Alex says, plastic wrap still on the seat, sales stickers still on the window. Are y'all borrowing this, or is that your car? Maybe they are borrowing it because they're going to Canada but need a ride for just a short while. It's a conspiracy theory. But yeah, I found that really weird too. That's supposed to be their bought car. So why the sticker? Wouldn't you take that off as soon as you bought it? Or you're renting it? Wouldn't you take off the plastic wrap? Somebody else suggested something, and I'm like, they might be right. I don't know. But it's an interesting theory. Y'all remember back when Chantal was at the villa, when she was eating nonstop? She kept having accidents. She kept soiling herself. Many times on camera, she lost control of her bowels. There was one live stream she did with Pete's, if y'all remember, where she was sitting on the couch and she literally sat there knowing what was going to happen, and she let it happen. And then she got up giggling like a fiend, and then she wanted Pete's to sit in her spot, and he was saying that it smelled, but she ran to the bathroom. The camera panned over to where she was, and she went to the bathroom, came out. Interestingly enough, she took off her soiled pants and put them on the counter, and she just kept on her underwear, and she walked back to the camera like that. But that was an instance of just her soiling herself. And it also happened at Natter's house, if I remember. But how that relates to this is maybe the reason why the plastic wrap is still on the seats is because perhaps problem with her bowels, or she's messy. And if they're leasing the vehicle versus it's being bought outright, they've got to keep it clean. But if Foodie is having trouble controlling her bowels, that helps to protect the seat. That's just a theory. That's just something interesting to think about. Okay, I love this goat. I laugh for 10 minutes when I watch this. D Angry Scott, me on Twitter rambling and raging about Foodie. I've got to play this for y'all. I was laughing so hard. We all need a laugh right now. I love that. I don't know whose clip that is. That's from Animals Going Goblin Mode. Oh my God, that is amazing. People going back and forth on Twitter like this goat. Oh, that's so good. I mean, I needed to laugh. Okay, needed to laugh. Florida Salt and Sass. This is the doctor that Chantal's been watching. This is the quack doctor. Dr. Berg and Dr. Oz both walk into a bar. Just kidding, they're the joke. That's all. So yeah, Dr. Berg, Dr. Eric Berg, he's the quack doctor. That he's a chiropractor. He has no business giving any kind of medical advice to anybody. There he is again. Okay, so that's it for everything on Twitter. So let's just stop the screen, switch again. Hold on. Where am I at? All right. We're going to go over to the video, and I'm going to give my thoughts on it, and I hope you guys enjoy it. If you have, don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment, because I love hearing from y'all. But let's get started with all this nonsense, shall we? All right. Let's do this.
He's got some sticks here for his teeth. Are you waiting?
Okay, maybe this is nothing, but the first thought in my head was, how long has that corn been sitting there? That corn looks old. Am I wrong? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I apologize, but that corn cob looks like it's been sitting there for a while. It doesn't look fresh.
Waking up? What are you doing? You're such a big boy. He has his corn and his little hut. And I have some marigolds.
Oh, great. Another thing for Chantal to unalive. It's not enough that you neglect pets. Now you're going to neglect plants.
Kind of outdoor plants. I just watered them yesterday. And I opened the curtain here. The sun does shine right on them here, like in the day. So before we go to bed, we open the curtain. Now, some of them are starting to bloom, but I'm trying.
You know, I don't know what kind of plant that is, but I do know that if you have pets, house pets, like dogs, cats, certain plants can be toxic. So I don't know if that might be toxic to Julia.
I'm trying to take care of them inside, and
I hope not.
See how it goes. So we don't have an outside space, but they smell nice and they brighten up the room a bit. So I actually enjoy them. So for those of you wondering, this is the wet food I feed my cat, Julia. She really loves it. Delicious dinners, butchers. I always...
You know, when Chantal was back in Canada, she did many, many hauls that she showed off for YouTube. She often did toured hauls of clothes that she bought herself, food hauls for herself. But one thing she never did, and I always looked to see if she would do it, was a pet food haul from a pet store. Like just going to a pet store and buying all kinds of supplies that would last for quite a while. Chantal's way, when she was back in Canada, if she did get cat food, she'd only get a few cans at a time. That's the reason why the cats were always hungry. She'd always be running out of food for the cats. She'd always make sure to have enough food for herself, but not enough for her pets. So just because you're showing us one can of cat food, Chantal, why don't you oppress us with showing us a whole stack and show us that Julia has enough food and cat litter and everything else for, let's just say, a month? Do that.
They say, "Do you want some butchers?"
And get her fixed while you're at it, doggone it.
So yeah, she
And treat that ringworm.
She loves them. Chicken and turkey is her favorite. Moose. Fancy. Hello guys, welcome back to another video. So today is going to be a video that's going to make you roll your eyes and probably freak out in the comments. But
are you hoping for that? Is that why you're doing this? You're hoping that people will roll their eyes and get in the comments because you're looking for engagement? You're engagement fishing, aren't you, Foodie? You really need that engagement. So let's just bring up topics that are going to make everybody mad, right? Let's just do that. Sad and pathetic.
I think I want to try this before I do anything else. So,
there's that word try again. You guys know how that goes with Foodie when she tries something, because she's trying it and not committing to it, it never lasts.
I'll show you my blood sugar reading here. This is fasting for over 24 hours.
I don't believe that she's not eating for 24 hours. Nope, 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 nope. You can't convince me. Don't believe it. That would mean that Foodie's been sleeping for 24 hours. Not possible. No, nope.
Sugar reading.
And I will die on this hill. I think that's the blood sugar reading for Salah. That's how it's so low. I don't think that's hers. I think that may be his. Because we didn't see her prick her finger and do it right in front of us. So how do we know it's not somebody else's?
Okay, so this is my fasting blood. I have been sleeping.
Why are you, Foodie, why are you so out of breath? Y'all hear that? She's like, girl, you're not doing anything. You're sitting on the couch and you're doing that heavy breathing. Why are you breathing so heavy? Go to a doggone doctor.
Being all day because I'm not feeling well today, actually. So, yeah, that is the right time. And this is MMOL. I'll try to put the conversion there for you, but my blood fasting was yesterday 2:30, which is, I'll put the conversion here somewhere. So, but I think it's like 16.
You know, the only way that Foodie can stop herself from eating is just to sleep. And even then, that's no guarantee. She looks at sleeping as fasting. It's not really fasting, it's just you sleeping. This was the same formula she used during Ramadan, when she learned about Ramadan and how people go without food for an extended period of time, that they stop eating at a certain time and they don't eat again until after, I believe it's after sundown. Her automatic answer was, well, I'm just going to sleep through it. And that's not how you handle Ramadan. But that was the way she wanted to handle it. Just avoid the being uncomfortable and hungry and just sleep through it. So if she's not eating for several hours, that's the only way it could happen. She just sleeps and sleeps and sleeps so she doesn't tempt herself to eating.
So it is down some points, which is really good. So I'm just going to continue to drink water today and see what happens when I continue to fast to my blood sugar. I'll keep an eye on it. I won't let it go too low, but I don't think I'll have that problem. But we'll see. So I did my mukbang video, the diet food, yesterday, And
Yeah, what about that? What about that? Who does a video talking about correction to your diet when you've got a four-course meal, including dessert? That's insane. You didn't need all that food, foodie. You really didn't. Really? OMAD plus keto plus dessert? No, 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 no. No. You were doing that for the feeties.
then I have been water fasting, yeah, for over 24 hours now. So,
I don't believe that. I don't. I don't believe it.
um,
You want to know why I think that? She's way too calm. Way too calm. I still remember the video she did. I can't remember the exact date, but it was recent where she was at home. They were going to go to the grocery store the next day, and all she had was just some corn at the house, and she was almost manic and panicking because they were low on food. And that was with her going to the grocery store the next door, Salah going. She's way too calm. Way too calm. She had something to eat before she came on camera.
I it seems to be working. Like my blood sugar has gone down um, by 5 points. So yesterday it was yesterday it was 16 when I tested it. And now that's MMOL. I've changed it to MMOL, which is what I'm used to. But I'll do the conversion here. So 11 is just about 200 mgdl. So um, it's going down a little bit. So I'm happy about that. Now I will be monitoring it very closely to make sure that it doesn't get too low because, I hear people saying, well, it's dangerous for people.
I hear people say, what people? You've been on Twitter. You've been on the reaction channels. You've been in the chat, haven't you? I heard people say, where'd you hear it? Come on, foodie. Come on. Just confess. You're nosy. You're watching the reaction channels. You're listening to the audience members. You're listening to the fact that they're calling you out on your misinformation, on your nonsense. They're shooting your misinformation like full of bullet holes. So you're taking everything you're picking up from everybody else and you're parroting it here in this video.
With um, diabetes to fast. Um, I would say people with type 1 diabetes, yes, um, because they have problems with their blood sugar getting very, very low. I don't know about type 2, but I think that because this was more than likely caused, there are genetic factors. Like every single person in my family, almost every single person in my family has diabetes, but not this young in age. So um, I think I can reverse it or put it into remission or whatever you want to call it.
You know what, Foodie? Even if you could, even if you had the ability to put it in remission, how is that going to happen? To make it go into remission, you've got to take care of yourself. You got to stop with this nonsense of the mukbangs. You're beating up your body internally. Not only is the diabetes an issue, but your BED is also an issue. It is a raging monster inside of your brain. And you won't put it in a cage. You won't do what you need to do to exercise that out of yourself. So it's not just correcting your diet that needs work. You've got to correct this BED issue. Or not, it's going to forever control you.
Because yes, you guys were right. Technically, when you look it up, there's no cure, but you can go down to you can go down to normal sugar levels. It's manageable to do that. So
Knowing Foodie, since she likes to manipulate things, she'll just find a way to manipulate the readings on the monitor. Like, how long do I have to fast before I could have a B moment with my fast food? Like, just like she manipulates the bathroom scale, she will find a way to manipulate the readings. Like, how long she has to wait before she can have sugar, and how long does it take for the sugar to show up. And that's just her way of thinking. She doesn't think about fixing the problem. She finds a way to manipulate the problem.
my blood sugar level my blood sugar levels are hyperglycemic, and if I go down to hypoglycemic, I will stop fasting and eat healthy, whatever. I'm gonna see how far I can go. I want to give my system a break. I'm honestly afraid to eat anything at this point because
That part right there. So when I was reacting to Hungry Fat Chick, Candy, Candy said something very, very similar. When she was doing the carnivore diet, she said something very, very similar. She was doing the carnivore and she wanted to include different things, but she was holding herself back. But Foodie, you're a person of extremes. You've always have been. It's never middle of the road balanced. It's always one side or the other. You're trying to tell us that you're going to starve yourself. You're a diabetic. Is that safe? I don't think it's safe. You're trying to find a quick fix to this issue, and there is no quick fix.
of how it affects my blood pressure, of how it affects my blood sugar levels. And I've been reading the comments. That's what I also wanted to open them with this video, and I wanted to open my video by saying this, but I didn't get to. I just forgot. I'm sorry. I This is what happens when you're not organized with what you want to say. I want to say that I haven't really had the time to um, reply to all of the comments, but I've been reading them, and
Why don't you have the time? What else do you have to do? You've got nothing else going on in your day. When you do a video, it's like what, less than 20 minutes? So after you edit this video together, which shouldn't take too long because there's nothing extraordinary about it, you don't have the time to reply to the comments at all? You liar.
I want to thank you guys for your suggestions, your tips, your concerns. It really, really means a lot to me.
Yeah, to those people that are giving Foodie advice and tips, I know you mean well. Those of you that care about Foodie, I don't know why you care about her, but you do. Okay, maybe you got a sense of empathy for this woman. Although she's evil and she's violent, she's rotten and she's a human trash bag, but that's beside the point. You're trying to be helpful. You're giving her advice and tips. Here's why that's a dumb decision. Because at the end of the day, she does not care about her health. She acts like she cares. She'll act like she cares for 5 minutes, and then she will do precisely what she wants to do. She will come to her audience members and say, hold me accountable, keep me on track, be my cheerleader team. But then a few days later, she falls off the track and she blames everybody but herself. She'll play that blame game. It's everybody else's fault that she failed. It has nothing to do with her. And if you're someone that you're trying to hold her accountable, and then you bring it to her attention that she's screwing up, even if you do it politely, she'll punish you. She'll block and ban you and say, I'll do what I want to do and you don't tell me what to do. Yeah, she's done that a lot in the past. That's how I know it's going to happen again. When you're dealing with somebody that they haven't changed, the patterns are exactly the same, there's nothing different. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting different results. So this is a cycle of insanity on a food level. And nothing's going to change about it as long as she doesn't change.
Like I said, to have people on the internet who I don't really, know, but who care about me in some way, and that means a lot. And I don't take that for granted.
Yes, you do, liar.
And I do take these things into consideration, and I totally understand where you're coming from. You know, people thinking I should be on medication,
You should be.
and that might be the case. I'm gonna see how the fasting goes.
She's avoiding the doctor. She's avoiding the doctor because maybe because of the cost. She's not in Canada with, like the free health care. So she can't take advantage of that anymore. Maybe because of the cost of the health care. With all the severe things wrong with her, maybe it might cost a lot of money. Maybe she doesn't want to go to the doctor and have tests done, and Salah will find out exactly what's wrong with her and how bad it really is. She doesn't want him to know. Maybe she doesn't want it to be on record that she's a diabetic with all these health issues. Because if her and Salah have to do another visa run, if the doctors know and it's on record, she may not be allowed back in Kuwait. It seems like she's hiding what's wrong with her. Not just from the audience, but from the authorities in Kuwait. And Chantal, you can only hide so much for so long. At some point, something's got to give or things get found out. You can't hide everything forever.
I haven't been able to do a very prolonged fast, more than 5 days of water fasting.
You didn't do it. When did you do a 5-day fast? When? When in the history of Chantal first did you ever really do an authentic 5-day water fast? You didn't. You did not, you big liar.
But in those 5 days, I keep saying this, I know I did, my body did feel really good and I lost a significant amount of weight. And
Ma'am, ma'am, ma'am. Even if you did a 5-day water fast, you cannot lose a significant amount of weight in 5 days. Ain't no way. It takes 3,500 calories to make 1 pound of fat. So I don't know what you mean by significant. I don't know if you mean by 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 20 pounds. Like, I don't know what significant is to you, but just to burn 3,500 calories, just 1 pound of fat, that'd be a lot, considering that you have no activity level. You're not going to burn 10 pounds or 5 pounds in 5 days. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Not possible.
and I think that I have enough stored um, fat on my body and energy in my liver that I need to give my body a break, you know? And it can be triggering for people with binge eating disorder to fast, but I have to do it. Like, I have to do something drastic right now because
What you have to do is get your butt to an inpatient facility, a locked down, restricted inpatient facility for your BED. Check yourself in and let them help you if you care. If you don't care, fine, it's your life or death, however you want to play this game. But that's the only thing that's going to work with your severe level of BED. And I'm not saying that as a doctor, a nurse, an RN. I'm saying that as someone that I once had BED, and your level of it is way over where I was. Your fixation on food is insane. You need to be around people in some place where they can help you, that they can physically stop you from eating. You need to be around people that are not going to be swayed by your temper tantrums. They're not going to listen to your crying. They're not going to be manipulated by your mood swings or anything else. They're not your Beezers or not your VIBs. They are no one that you can bend to your will. You need to be somewhere where you get told the word no a lot. Your life is what it is right now because you heard the word yes too much growing up. Nobody ever stopped you. Nobody ever gave you some discipline and taught you that there are boundaries to life, that you can't have everything you want. You can't do whatever you want. You have to live life with a sense of structure. You never had that. And here you are, I'm almost 40 years old. You still don't have it. You're still acting like a feral beast. That's what you need, though. Yes, your diabetes needs to be looked at and treated. Yes, you need a checkup, but that issue, that severe food issue, it's got to be dealt with at the same time, or your diabetes will not have a chance.
Because I just, anything, I feel like anything I eat just throws my system out of whack, and this is the only thing so far that's been lowering my blood sugar. Like, this is the biggest dent I've made in lowering my blood sugar, since I've been trying to do something, which isn't very long, but, eating low carb, that chicken dinner, my blood sugar was still, my blood sugar didn't go up, but it didn't go down. So, after I fast, maybe a couple of days or so, I'm not sure. There's a lot of people who intermittent fast, by the way.
The problem with her doing the fasting as a diabetic, people have pointed out it is not good for her. But given that she has her severe BED, she might be setting herself for a really bad B moment. She is setting herself up for failure because she has no coping mechanisms, no coping skills. If she gets upset, she gets depressed, she gets sad, she gets angry, she gets too tempted, she's going to go wild with that food. This is what happened with the last time when she was eating the diet plan meals and she got on camera in the floral abaya saying that she just lost control and she had the worst B moment that she's had in a while. So we're back on the diet plan meals. What do you think is going to happen? If she's doing the fasting for real and she's trying to behave, eventually that bee monster in her head is going to win because there's nothing holding it back. It's rattling the cage bars saying, I'm going to get out sometime. You got me trapped in here for now, but I'm still here. And as long as I'm still here, I'm going to create chaos for you. And she is not doing anything to drive that beast away.
And intermittent fasting can be you fast for a few days a week and eat a few days a week kind of thing. But when I go back to eating, I'm going to be doing, clean food, low carb, that kind of thing. So,
can I say something on that note? Chantal, we all know that you're a liar. So let's just say in the future, you try to make this fake arc of pretending to get healthy, right? You come on camera eating the healthy food. But if you're lying to yourself, and if you're lying to the audience, eventually it's going to get found out. If you come on camera and you say to people, I'm taking care of my health and I'm eating healthy, but yet you continue to get bigger, if you continue to get more unhealthy, the lie is going to get exposed. You know that, right? Because the two things that are constant in your world, you lie, but you also tell on yourself. If your mouth doesn't tell on you, your body's going to tell on you. So why not just try some truth?
Probably a cleaner keto just because I don't have a gallbladder and my body is not able to handle very high fatty food, very greasy kinds of foods without feeling sick. So
basically, you're confessing that because you've been eating the high fatty food and the cheese, that all that time you were sick all the time, weren't you? I mean, that wouldn't surprise me. You have no gallbladder. When you eat fatty foods, it distresses your system out. So you just said without saying that because I was eating that way, I was stressing my system out all the time. That would explain your fixation on finding restrooms. I remember back in Canada, at the time that you were seeing Natter, like you just really had a fixation for bathrooms. Like you made a big deal about, I can't leave the house because I got to make sure there's a bathroom available. I mean, you were really anxious about that. And you had a fixation for the outhouse. Remember the outhouse? You just could not get 5 steps away from a bathroom. Is that why? Because of all the fast food and you had to be near a bathroom when your system just let go?
already I feel so much less bloated. I feel I don't feel hungry, I just feel sick. Like I just feel ill, kind of like low energy even to make this video. So my videos might be a little, I'm going to try to make them as interesting as I can for you guys.
Ma'am, You did this video and you just posted, oh, I'm not feeling well today, guys, but I'm going to do a TikTok talk live later. So if you're going through a period of transition where your body's getting adjusted, why schedule a TikTok live? You're coming on YouTube and you're saying, I don't have much energy, but don't worry because I'll have enough energy for TikTok. You're such an actress.
But for the first few days, it's gonna be rough, you know? Um, One thing I super dread about fasting is that bad taste you get in your mouth. Anyone who's fasted for like more than a few days will know what I mean. But yeah, I have like over 200 and I have like 250 pounds or so. Because for my height, I'm 5'1", okay? I'm 155 centimeters. I think that's 5'1" when you convert it. Excuse me. My healthy weight range, if you look it up, is like 100 to like 120 pounds.
And it's interesting because that brought up in a live last night. You were watching that live from One Salty Beach, weren't you, Chantal? Because she mentioned that. Isn't it interesting that that was brought up in a live last night, and here you are parroting it today? And you're right. You are 5 feet tall. Your normal weight should be around 110, maybe 120 pounds, and you're over 500. I'm 5'4". My normal weight should be 115, 120. So I'm close to that, but you're way, way, way overweight. If your normal weight should be 110, maybe 120, and you're over 500 pounds, which I think you are, that means you're super, super, super morbidly obese. You are carrying the weight of 2 or 3 adults in the front of your body. That's entirely too much. As it is right now, you've got a lot of visceral fat packed around your organs, and that's extremely dangerous. You've got so much visceral fat packed around your organs that your stomach is solid. It's not soft, which means your organs do not have any room to move around. And yet you just keep getting bigger.
So anything over that is kind of considered like overweight for my height, and which is why I'm so round and shaped, why I look so big, you know, especially from the side because I'm apple shaped.
No, 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 you're not apple. You're not apple shaped. You're orange shaped. That's not me being mean. That's just me being factual. You've got the shape of a beach ball.
I'm like ball shaped at this point. I'm
Yep.
so round because of how much I weigh and how, you know, speaking of which, I want to say I've been getting a lot of lovely comments and I shouldn't focus on any negative, but I do see people still commenting, and I think I know where it's coming from. There's certain reaction channels that are just so hell bent on, you know, finding something to complain about.
What are we complaining about? It's her life. She can do as she pleases. And if she pleases to make content and put it on YouTube, then we're just giving our thoughts, feelings, and opinions. It doesn't go any deeper than that. But we're not complaining about her. We do complain about her coming on YouTube and breaking terms of service and being vulgar and offensive. Yes, we're going to complain about that because there is a terms of service and we all have to follow it. And if we have to follow it, well, then why doesn't she? Why isn't YouTube stepping up and reinforcing the policies that they say we have to follow? But if she wants to do her kind of content and if she is hell bent on destroying her body, can anybody stop her? No, none of us can stop her. This is her life and her decision and her choice. All we're here to do is just watch to see what happens. That's all. That is it.
So they go after my scale. I've shown you guys my scale.
Oh, here we go. We're going after your scale, are we? No, we're just making observations about the scale. You chose to make a video showing the scale, showing the reading on the scale. And we know you messed around with it. We know that something is off. There's no possible way that you can be 362 pounds when the last true weigh-in that you did was at BB's and you showed the scale number honestly, and at that time you were 377. And anybody who can look at that clip, which I just played in the beginning of this video, look at the way you look then versus how you look now. Ain't no way, big mama, ain't no way that you're 362. That means you'd be smaller than what you were before, not 10 times bigger. That's why people are commenting on the scale, because of you lying. Maybe that scale does not go up all the way to show your true weight. Maybe you messed around with it. It's not the scale itself. It's the fact that you continue to lie.
Many, many times, and there's no function to mess with it, okay? So, also,
You don't have to have a function. There's a million ways to mess around with a scale. You can put the scale on an uneven floor. The battery could be low. There's all kinds of ways to mess around with it.
Been on a scale before where at the doctor, where the scale only goes up to 250 pounds, and what will happen is the scale will go up to the 250 pounds, like, and it will max out at that. So this scale goes up to, like, I think 400 pounds or 180 kg, which is like just shy of 400 pounds. It would say 400 pounds. Like, it would either say 400 pounds, it would say error, or it would just be like a bunch of numbers and zeros. Like, it wouldn't be saying consistently, 30 to 40 pounds lighter than its limit. It wouldn't do it. I really don't know how.
Chantal, knowing you, you probably played around with that scale for hours, trying to find a way to get the number that you wanted, because you are so desperate to keep the illusion in your head alive that you have not gained weight since your BB days. You're stuck in that time period as far as weight numbers. You don't want to progress past that, because if you progress past that, and you have to admit that you are over 400 pounds or over 500 pounds, you would have to admit that your health is in trouble, and you just don't want to do that. Although that is what's going on.
How people just don't realize that, I'm sorry if that doesn't fit your narrative, and makes you look very deceptive to your audience, but that's how it is. If my weight was too high for my scale, it would either show 400 pounds.
Chantal, we remember you having a scale back at the villa, and you stepped on it and you cracked it. Also, you cracked the tile in your kitchen. And if you are at a lower weight now than you were back in your BB days, why is it that we've heard stories about you being in Kuwait and you breaking couches and chairs and toilets and a lot of things? That never happened before. That's never happened until recently. What is going on that you're breaking furniture, ma'am? Why is it that when Salah got a car the first round, it was a smaller car, but as time has gone on with you, he keeps getting bigger and bigger cars? Is it because of you? Because you have to fit in the car? I mean, if you're a smaller weight, why are these things happening that have to do with you gaining more weight? I'm just curious.
Pounds maxed out, like it did at the doctor's, it would say error, or it would say a bunch of zeros or something like that. It wouldn't say 30 to 40 pounds lighter than what the scale's limit.
I'll tell you what, Chantal, I'll make you a deal. You go to an actual doctor with an actual medical scale, one that you cannot screw around with. Go to a doctor that has a scale that can take all of your weight, that goes up to, say, 600 pounds. A scale that you can stand on. And if you are under 500 pounds, I'll apologize to you. I'll say you were right. I was wrong. I'm woman enough. If I'm wrong, I apologize for being wrong. But I don't think I am. And you know what? Man, my pause game is on point today. That's just a happy accident. I got to get that. Hold on. You look great, Chantal. That looks fabulous. Look at that picture. Oh, that's wonderful. I'm telling you, foodie, you're just so photogenic. I love it when you give me those wonderful facial moments. That's going to be my thumbnail. Anyway, go ahead, girl.
It is. Anyway, um, it just amazes me the really asinine things people come up with for content. But anyway, um, I'm gonna weigh myself tomorrow.
Not Chantal making fun of other people's content. Not her. When her idea of exciting content is getting on camera and saying that she's going to clean her bedroom, or she's doing a haul of items she got at the food bank. Not her criticizing other people's content when she does the bare basic minimum. Not even that for her own content. You know, Chantal, I'm laughing at you right now. I'm laughing and I'm giggling. I'm lolling because this month and next month are the highest paying months of the year for YouTubers. And you're not even in Canada to capitalize. If you had any kind of smarts, you would go home and capitalize on it. But you're not that smart, are you? You're determined to hang on to Salah. So you can't fully capitalize on this month or next month. You're going to miss that extra YouTube money. You're going to keep doing these lame videos talking about your health problems, but yet not treating them, making empty promises that you will not keep, and you're going to be more broken. I love that for you. I love it.
Actually, and see and keep track of that. But um, I think that it's going to be good for me to do the fasting. Also, another thing about fasting that's really beneficial for health is it depletes the glycogen stores in your liver.
Oh, here we go. This is healthy Chantal coming out. Here we go. Oh, we've been here before. Dr. Armchair. That is now Dr. Blue Couch. Dr. Armchair has been switched over to Dr. Blue Couch. Now she's going to tell us all about the health benefits of fasting, how healthy it's going to make her. She's going to tell us all about vitamins and minerals and nutrition, even though she is the queen of junk food. It's too bad that you do not subscribe to what you preach. You'll talk about it, but you won't be about it.
And I have fatty liver disease, so
Yep.
um, it will eat up all of that stuff in my liver. So
Wait, what? You're thinking that by fasting it's going to cure your non-alcoholic fatty liver disease? That it's going to cure your liver, even though you told us long ago your liver is 3 times the size of normal? I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. People that are in the comments that you may have knowledge about this, can that be done? I don't think it can be done. She's done a lot of damage to her liver. And like I said, she doesn't know what's going on beneath the hood. Only a doctor taking tests would know that. So she's making all these claims about if I do fasting, I can cure up all my problems. I don't think that's possible. I think she's too far gone. She might be able to get some things under control, but it's not going to completely heal everything that's wrong with her. I don't think fasting is going to cure a liver that's so swollen and enlarged that it's too far gone. That's just me though. I mean, what do I know? I'm not a doctor, but just she's under this impression that I can just do some fasting and go without food and bam, everything's cured. I don't think so. I really don't think so, Chantal.
and then it will go on to kicking into the keto mode, and it'll use my stored fat as energy. I mean, that's why we store fat. We don't store fat just for anything else. I mean, we store fat because we might need it for energy at a later time, and you can get a lot more energy out of fat than with glucose. So um, I'm learning a lot more about that before. And I feel kind of stupid talking about it because I was so against it. I'm not going to.
And you're still against it. Let's see what you got to say in about another week or 2 weeks. She won't even last the week, y'all.
Completely eliminate all carbs. Like, it's just that the bad ones, yeah. But I'm going to eat pretty low.
By the way, speaking of carbs, speaking of her BED, which I'm not making fun of that, you guys know that, but ooh, would anybody like to be around Chantal when she has those cravings? Would anybody volunteer to be there in the room when she has those cravings? The ones that they're gonna come on late at night. Can you just imagine the temper tantrums, the mood swings of this one? Her going through all this, the trying to go without food and the fasting. Oh, she's gonna be a bit of a bear. Salah, Salah, you better stay in the red room for the next week, sir. Salah, don't get around her. She's gonna be a nightmare.
Carb. So my body has a lot of energy reserves right now.
Oh yeah, girl, you got an entire warehouse around your waist.
I should be totally fine. You know, I know that fasting is taboo still a bit and people are skeptical, so I don't blame you. You're allowed your opinion. That's fine. But I'm going to see how it goes. Okay, so far the proof's in the numbers, it's been going down. Another thing I wanted to add about, my scale being broken.
Boy, that really bothers her, doesn't it? That's like the second or third time she's brought it up in this video alone. I love it. I love the fact that people talking about her scale has triggered her. She's so triggered. Everybody calling out her scale and calling BS on that scale, saying that it's there's something going on with it. It's nonsense. She gets so bothered about the fact that people are they're calling her out on her lies. A narcissist and a liar, they get the most triggered when the lie gets exposed, when the truth is out there and they can't stop people from listening. But you know what, Chantal? It's not just the scale that's telling on you. It's all the clips on your channel, on the reaction channels, on the archive channels, and yes, even on Twitter that are telling on you. Because I just showed a few clips in the beginning of this video showing how you looked during your BB days, showing your weight at 377, and anybody can look at you now and say, that ain't 377. That's not 362. That's about 550 pounds. The difference between yourself then and now is about 150, 200 pounds. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Pictures don't lie. Video doesn't lie. And you made the mistake long ago to put your whole life online and tell us all about your business and show how you looked. Well, you can't get rid of it. It's there forever. Hence the reason why you shouldn't lie, because you're going to get called out each and every time.
When have I ever cared at all about how I look?
All the time. All the time. All the time. You care now. Look at you, Miss Heavily Filtered. When have I ever cared how I look? You care now. You with your skin smoothing filter. You with your eye widening filter. You with your contour filter. Look, Chantal, can I just say something that this is bothering me? This is so bothering me. You're a professional YouTuber, are you not? How come you cannot center your head in the frame? Half your head is cut off. That is so amateurish. But anyway, what I want to point out to all of you, how you can tell the filters are working, that she's got them on. Okay, from an artist perspective, when the body distributes weight, it does it evenly and symmetrically, correct? Look at her face. Look at her face. All right. Look at the wideness of her cheeks. Look how wide she is up here. And then see how it narrows? That's not natural. That is not. The body distributes weight evenly. It's not just going to put the weight on her cheekbones and then narrow her face down like in a triangle. That's a filter. Her face is round all the way around. And she uses the filters and the baya and the hijab to try to take some of the inches off. But you're not using filters, right, Chantal? You're using multiple filters right now. Using the face filter, using the hijab as a filter. You got all different kinds of filters working here, but you don't care how you look, right?
To people. Like, I'm doing this weight thing for my health, not for looks.
Liar.
I've never hidden myself from the camera. I used
Yes, you're hiding now. Right now, you're hiding. Are you giving us a full body shot? Anymore, you have the camera like underneath your chin so that nobody can see what you look like. You avoid people seeing your entire body because you are embarrassed. You're ashamed. You know that you're getting bigger. You know that the abayas can't hide it anymore because you are getting bigger. You've got the biggest size abaya on that money can buy commercially, and that looks like a bodycon dress. So you can't hide anything any longer.
to you've seen me in the past, the ball, the exercise ball, um, coming on camera just barely clothed.
Yeah, you know what the sad part about that is? During that time period when you were, like you were bald, you were showing us a lot more skin. Believe it or not, that was your skinny era. We thought you were big then, but you've gained a lot more weight since then. I don't know what happened, but you went to Kuwait and you just exploded with your weight. When we look at the vintage videos from you, the retro reacts, compared to how you look now, you look skinny then. You've gotten enormous, Chantal, enormous.
Doesn't make any sense. This theory doesn't make any sense. And what's funny is these accusations are coming from people, reactors who literally do not cam up or show even their face.
Right here. Hi, I'm camming up. Now what? I'm right here, Chantal. There are lots of people that are reactors. Yeah, they don't turn their cameras on, but not because they're ashamed of how they look. They just want to focus on the video and the chat and give their commentary. But you're not even coming on camera with your natural self. So what are you talking about? Your filters are your natural avatar. So until you come on camera, unfiltered, completely unfiltered, I don't want to hear nothing from you. But I'm on camera right here, Chantal. No filters, girlfriend. No face filters, no eye filters, no nothing. Completely raw, not even any makeup on. And what you got to say now? Let's see you do that. I don't think you will. I don't think you have the guts to do that.
They don't show any part of themselves.
Really? Hold up. I don't show any part of myself. Look. All right, you guys can't see very much and I can't see StreamYard, but look. Okay? Showing myself. Showing myself. I'm 52, Chantal. You're not even 40. And I would not trade my life for yours for any amount of money. You might make a little bit more money than me on YouTube, but you know what? Money ain't a thing. I can make as much as I want with no problem. Money is nothing. But I got something much more valuable than money. I got my health, and I got my peace of mind, and I got my integrity, and I didn't trade that for a sham marriage just to have somebody around. That's something you did. You traded everything that was valuable and worth the crap for something worthless. Even now, you're not fixing it. So you want to shame people for not coming on camera? You can't even come on camera and be yourself. You're a fake and you're a phony. And you're cosplaying something you are not. For what? To be next to a man that does not love you. He will never love you. He's just there for a paycheck. And you know that. But even knowing that, you won't do the smart thing and get yourself back home to Canada and fix yourself. You'd rather stay in Kuwait and play out this stupid playhouse fantasy with this man and make yourself ill. And hey, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But don't get on YouTube expecting sympathy from all of us. You will get none. After all the things you said and all the things you've done, for the way you neglected BBJ and Sam. No sympathy. My sympathy bone does not hear you. It's gone deaf to you. We know how this is going to play out. We know all of this is lip service. We know this is for sympathy. You're not serious. I'm watching your video. I'm listening to you. I do not see anything in your eyes that says that you're a changed woman, that you've had a wake up moment, you've had a moment of clarity, you've had an epiphany, and you really want to change, that you're serious. This is you play acting. This is you faking the funk. This is Duper's delight. You know, when it's real, it's real. And when it's phony, it's phony. And this is phony. All of this is phony. You don't care about yourself.
So I'm sorry, but here I am in front of you. I have no reason to hide my weight because
What you do.
360 pounds is still heavy. And even if I was 600 pounds, I wouldn't be ashamed to show it.
Was that something? Even if I was 600 pounds, girl, I think you're getting close to that. I've been saying for the longest, I think you're 525, 550 easily. So if that is true, if you are in the 525, 550 range, you're close to 600. And if you're 5 feet tall, that's not good.
But, you know, I'm just not one of those people that's ashamed of myself. And
You
if
are.
you look at me, who
If you're not ashamed of yourself, why were you freaking out so bad in Thailand? You were ashamed of yourself, Chantal. You were. You were so uncomfortable being in Thailand. You did not want to go out walking. You did not want to talk to people. You were uncomfortable with how they were looking at you and staring at you and whipping out their iPhones and taking pictures and putting you on Facebook or whatever. You hated it. When that one mother with a child was talking to you and she simply told you you eat too much food, that got to you so bad you were talking about it for days. But you're not embarrassed about yourself? I beg to differ.
was showing myself on camera in front of you versus people who hide behind a camera and judge other people
I'm not hiding.
and call them fat, whatever. I mean, hello. Anyway, so so yeah, I just want to do a quick video update. Just taking it easy. Gonna be spending the next while trying to fast. It's gonna be hard, I
Okay,
know. Right
stop.
now, it's not that
Okay,
bad.
you know what? You know what, Chantal? Stop it. You're ending the video and I see how you're ending it. Stop it. I ain't falling for this. Y'all don't fall for this. You know what she's doing? Okay. This is what she's doing. You notice how she's like, ah, she's looking down, like looking all sad and like just so pity poor me. Yeah, like this is how she's ending the video. Manipulation tactics.
When I hear my stomach growl or something, I'm like, yeah, eat the fat in my body, eat it. you know. Um, but with water fasting, I know my skin, my hair, everything will be glowing in a few days.
Really? Well, if that's the case, then take off the doggone filter so we can see the actual change in your skin. Because as long as you have the filters on, how are we going to know? All we see is a skin smoothing filter. Show us your natural skin. I bet you won't.
If I make it that far, you'll see. Just watch. And then it's going to be about relearning proper nutrition, which I may seek at a center, or there's a lot of online nutritionists as well. Um, but we'll see. So I guess today's day one, and I know I did a video not, months ago trying to do a 40-day water fast. I will not be doing 40 days, but I'm going to see how long I can go.
Are y'all picking up what I'm picking up? Like she's sitting there talking. Duper's delight. Straight up Duper's delight. Oh, Chantal. She got that Duper's delight smile, smirk going on. Like looking down and she's nearly smirking and laughing while she's talking about this. Well, Chantal, if you want to treat your health and diabetes like a joke, it's just something funny to you. It's something nothing you will take serious. Well, if something happens, I guess it'll no longer be a joke, will it? But go ahead and smirk, because the only one who's going to suffer if you treat it like a joke is you. Nothing you do is going to affect anybody in your audience or the reaction channel audience or the reactors. Your health choices relate to your health, not ours. So do as you will, ma'am.
Oh, excuse me. Even a couple days just to give my body a rest, and lower those sugar levels. That's the main thing, is to lower the sugar levels that are dangerously high, and the blood pressure as well will go down. Because anything I eat, I feel like, anything with an amount of sodium, and the thing is like, if it doesn't taste good to me, I'd rather not eat. So anyway,
So what tastes good to you? Like what tastes good to you? That usually means fast food. What is fast food full of? Salt, sugar, fats, oils, everything you should be avoiding. So what are you telling us, that anything healthy that is not loaded with those things, you're not going to eat it? Well, then what are you going to eat?
but this will reset my palate as well, going without
I don't
any
think so.
food. Once you
No, 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 no. This is going to reset my palate, girl. I think you burned off your taste buds long ago. I don't think you can taste anything anymore. You wouldn't know good tasting food if it hit you in the face. Like if fast food is what you think tastes good, that already tells me your taste buds they're burnt. They're done.
eat food again, it tastes like it doesn't need a whole bunch of salt and sugar. It just
No.
tastes good because you're like food, You'll appreciate the sugar and natural sugar in the fruit. You'll appreciate
You don't eat food for taste. You eat food just to fill up your stomach.
whatever. So, all right, guys, thanks for listening, and I'll see you
Yeah,
in the next
shut up.
video. Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye, Chantal. Bye. Bye. Okay, what is this person saying? Okay, so Marty Flanders says, going to say something harsh. If you are 600 pounds, you absolutely should feel ashamed of yourself. That comment feels like a reflection of self worth. Huh? Who said that? The whole water fasting as a morbidly obese diabetic sure sounds like a good and safe deal. No, not really. I, were you being sarcastic when you made that comment, sir? It sounds like it. Ross says, this is a really sad to see. She still thinks she has time to try her crazy diet before following doctor's advice. No family or loving husband begging her to see doctor. Why she still thinks she knows about diet or health at this point? Well, because she wants to do it her way. She doesn't want to go to a doctor. Maybe she's afraid of her having diabetes and have all these health problems will go on record. Maybe if she goes to a doctor, she'd finally have to admit that she's in trouble and she's not ready to face reality. I mean, there might be different layers to this. Who knows? Let's see. There's a lot of people being supportive in the comments. People are begging her to go to a doctor. Hello Darkness says, you have to go to the doctor ASAP. Stop pretending you can solve this on your own. Fasting for someone with BED is insanely irresponsible. True, you have no training or discipline to control yourself when you are hungry. Also true, you may not feel it now, but you will feel hungry. You will justify a huge meal because you fasted for a certain amount of time. Proper portions and good meals are the only way to go. Honestly, it feels like you're trying to sabotage your journey. And as someone that has a mother with type 2 diabetes, I can tell the consequences are awful. Yeah, like diabetes plus BED, it's a recipe for disaster. And yet she's not consulting people to do things the right way, to give herself a chance. And again, that's her call. More people telling her to go to the doctor, and of course, she's not going to listen. Melanie says fasting should only be counted while you're awake. Well, that's not how she's doing it. The only way she can fast is to go to sleep. That's the only time she's not thinking about food or focused on food, is when she's got her eyes shut and her mouth closed. Sister Sunshine says 200 after a 24-hour fast is still way too high. Yes, it is. Let's see. So a lot of people in the comments like giving her advice. A lot of people saying, go to the doctor. Please go to the doctor. Oh, here's some information about the flowers that she has in her home. Gemini says, they say marigolds are not toxic to cats, but if they eat the leaves or stems, they can suffer from mouth irritation, drooling, tummy pain, or diarrhea. Chantal, Julia's in the house. And one thing I know about cats is cats, they love, and dogs too, they love to eat grass. They like to eat leafy things because if they have an upset tummy or they like to eat grass to help with their digestion. So I don't know how attractive marigolds would be to a cat. Like if they sniff them, are they gonna nibble on them? But I would say with Julia in the house, get the marigolds out if it's going to cause these symptoms, because you don't know what's going to happen with her. Like you bring flowers and such into the house and you're not checking to see if they are non-toxic to pets. Shame on you. And let's see. Taylor says, girls, stop effing around and get on metformin. Yeah, like 58 thumbs up for that. Again, she won't do it. She doesn't want to take the medication. She refuses to go to a doctor and get that script, even though that might help her blood sugar. Says, I'll come back in a week to see how it's going. Well, it'll probably be over then. She's not going to be able to keep going for a week. Trust me. We've been here before. We've done this before. We've heard it before. We know how it goes. All right, so that's it for the comments. So we're done with this react. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you guys on the next one. All right, take care, everybody. Bye now.